I'm Julie Macken, and welcome back to Speaking of Social Justice, because God knows we all need to be speaking a bit about social justice. Over the break, a whole lot of things happened, none of which I'm going to go into, except one, and that is, once again, we had people seeking protection, landing on the coast of Australia, looking for help. They were fleeing, the persecution in Pakistan and other countries. And the response was swift and unthinking and, same as ever. They were swept up. A couple of things happened. They were swept up and flown straight away to Nauru, that tiny little island in the middle of the Pacific that we pretty well destroyed, not just with phosphate mining, but also by turning it into a kind of large outdoor prison for us. So they were taken there. That's where they ended up. But a really beautiful thing happened before they got sent there. They landed in Beagle Bay, and that's on the Kimberley coast. It's an area that is probably the most extraordinary country in Australia and beautifully cared for by the First Nations people of that territory. One of the fellas was talking about how the blokes arrived and they got medical treatment, they got them in the shade, they got them food, they got them water. And this fella who was one of the leaders of their community was saying he was really proud of his community in how well they cared for these poor fellas. And I thought about the difference in response. The beautiful response from that community in Beagle Bay that just said, these are blokes like us who are in desperate need of support, and gave it to them, and we're really proud of being able to do that. And then we have the response of the state, which is ask no questions, get them in a plane, drop them on Nauru, and begin trying to send them back to where they came from as soon as possible. We've got two Australias. We've actually probably got more than two Australias, but we've certainly got two Australias in that story. Next Thursday night, on the 7th of March, on the eve of International Women's Day, we're having a panel discussion here at the Justice and Peace Office, talking about, it's called From Melancholia to Reimagining Australia. And the women on the panel are extraordinary and courageous and smart and fabulous. And in a sense, what we've got are two women talking about their experience of coming to Australia. One woman came fleeing the persecution in Chile in, I think, the 1980s. And another woman is Rohingya, and they were fleeing persecution. And they also came to Australia prior to 1996, when everything went south. Both of them are talking about their experience of coming to Australia, seeking protection, and finding a beautiful place called Villawood, where they were supported, where they were cared for, where they were allowed to recover from the terrible ordeals they'd been through, and where their community was really celebrated. They talk about this place, Villawood, as a place of nurturing and safety. We've also got on the panel two other young women who have come here more recently via Nauru. Their experience of detention in Australia is entirely different. Absolutely entirely different. It's a brutal, cruel, abusive regime. Now, the only thing that changed between those two stories is Villawood. Villawood now is a place of real danger, of real horror. It is not a safe place for anyone anymore. It's become that because Australia's changed. We have changed. We used to be that country where people would come to us and find safety and find security. And we used to be that country that would go out to the rest of the world and show them how it's done. We were really smart, we were really capable, we really managed complexity. We really knew that the world is a complicated place, and we needed to be really agile and fit to be the right kind of person in that place. That was who we were then. 20 years later, 25 years later, we are a place that just has one response to those who look to us for protection. The answer there is no, and we will make it so hideous for you that you will seriously want to go back to what you fled rather than stay here. We're a country that can't handle complexity. We can't be nimble. We can't have a graduated response. We can only say no. We are really a less of a country. That's what we're discussing next Thursday night. We're calling it From Melancholia to Reimagining Australia. And I reckon if you're listening to this, you are a person that wants a bigger, better, stronger, smarter Australia. That's what we're after. An Australia that is fast, that is nimble, that is smart, that can look after each other and look after those that really need it. Anyway, if you're interested, you should look on the JPO website and you'll see the booking, but hurry up, chop chop, seats are nearly sold out. And meanwhile, let's just let's reimagine what it would be like to be in Australia that welcomed people and cared and protected people that needed it. Because chances are if we were that country, we would also be the same country that cared and protected and nurtured each other. That's the deal. You get one, you get the other. You don't have the other, you don't get this either. Thanks for listening.